Friends, I have two things to say tonight. One, the second thing will lead in from the first. Friends, we are living in a time where things are very broken. And as a rabbi, been doing this work for 42 years, and obviously rabbis react to the world they live in. I'm not sure how we react to the world that we live in. The world is broken. And you wish you could find a way to weave it together. I'm not smart enough or clever enough to do that. But I actually can say, with honesty, it is broken. And that leads into the second part of what I want to talk about is how important the synagogue is. How important this synagogue and all synagogues are at this incredibly broken, difficult time for the United States, for all Americans, for Jews, for people of all religions, for the world. It's never been more important that we have religious institutions that come together and stand for something and believe in something. And, Todd, and I know how hard you work for this moment to bring forward a new rabbi. I know it's difficult, but what you're doing is something so sacred, because without religious institutions that stand for something, we're not going to survive. And I say that not in hyperbole, I say it from the depth of my soul. Let's go to the second part. Tonight, the synagogue carried out a sacred ritual. It really is historic. Something hopefully you won't have to do again for a long time. And after a year and a half of hard work and diligence and thoughtfulness, and it's self-evident that the mission was successful, you've elected an extraordinarily gifted successor to me, and I always was certain that it would work out great, and it was worth staying another year for this. And I mean that sincerely. Things sometimes just work out, don't they? There is a God, let me tell you. You've got to look for that God, but there is a God somewhere. Now, election of a new rabbi is the easy part. The real challenge is making sure the transition is a good one. The creating of an environment where the rabbi will be supported and the congregation will thrive. I am not Moses. I am not standing on Mount Sinai. I don't speak to God. But I've been a rabbi for 42 years, and I have reflected on my own rabbinate and observed the rabbinate of others. So here are my thoughts about this transition. It's probably the most important thing I'll say to you in 14 years, so listen up. Okay? It'll be taped, so you should read it. And there's nothing deep here. There's nothing deep here. It's all truth. First, you need to show up for the new rabbi. I remember when I first came here, my first services in the old sanctuary. For 4 weeks, the pews were filled. People wanted to see what I was capable of. What is this Landi guy all about? When they discovered that I was competent and I gave coherent sermons, attendance began to peter out. I learned to live with it. But it was a little demoralizing and discouraging. This is not good for a new rabbi. Yes, the blisses were not yet to be discovered. Our synagogue has evolved beautifully, and our attendance over time has increased, and we now have a wonderful Friday night community. But when the congregation does not show up, it is discouraging. Show up for Rabbi Levinsky. 2, rabbis do not know anything about people in the synagogue unless they're told. They don't have intelligence services working for them. They are not clairvoyant. Tell the rabbi what's happening. And if you need the rabbi, tell him what you need directly. Don't play a game with the rabbi. Don't be upset with the rabbi if he has not met your needs when you haven't told him what your needs are. I'm going to read that again. That's probably the most profound thing I've said in 42 years. I want it flashing. Don't be upset that the rabbi has not met your needs when you haven't told him what your needs are. That's true about life, marriage, everything. And relating to that is, if you have something to say to the rabbi, say it to his face. And I say it to the board members, the leaders of the synagogue. If someone says something to you about the rabbi, the proper response is, talk to the rabbi directly. He deserves that. Don't get in the middle. Don't triangulate. It's not healthy. The only healthy relations are face-to-face. One person talking to another. I don't talk to Glenn in order to speak to Martha. It's so deep and so simple and so necessary. Third, this is good, isn't it? This is good. Is this good? This is really good. It is good. I told Jane it was good. She didn't believe me. She said, sure you want it? I said, it's good. Okay, third. I'm really getting to enjoy this now. Okay, the rabbi is not a magician, not a prophet, not a Messiah. The rabbi is a person who has good days and bad days, has strengths and weaknesses. The rabbi cannot succeed without a partnership. The rabbi cannot fix anything. The rabbi cannot change anything. Only a partnership between the rabbi and the congregation will accomplish anything. Now that Rabbi Levinsky has been elected, the tough job is ahead, creating a partnership. The rabbi needs the congregation needs the rabbi. Number 4, support the vision of the rabbi. Rabbi Levinsky is a brilliant, seasoned, effective rabbi. He will have new ideas. Be open to them. Tell him about the history of how it has been done, but please don't tell him we can't do that because we've never done it before. That thinking will kill the congregation. You want to kill the congregation? A few of those, and that'll be it. A synagogue that doesn't continue to reinvent itself will not survive. I love the temple. I love what I've done with the temple. I love what we've done together. It needs to be reinvented. And that's a compliment to me, to reinvent it. Number 5, our religious leader is supposed to have opinions. Rabbi Israel Salanter said, a rabbi whose community does not disagree with him is not really a rabbi. And a rabbi who fears his community is not really a man. What is Salanter saying? The goal of the rabbi is to speak the truth based on their understanding of Jewish tradition and their sensitivity to the world around them. The rabbi is called upon to speak up. That is what's called freedom of the pulpit. The rabbi controls this little area and is allowed to say whatever they want to say when they want to say it. Rabbis will say things that you agree with and say things that you don't agree with. Rabbis are not saying things to make you angry. Rabbis are saying things to make you think, to reflect on your Judaism, and to lead you to engage the world through the lens of Judaism. You do not have to agree with them, but respect them. Respect them because they respect you enough to speak truthfully. You don't want rabbis who are afraid to speak their mind. 6th, don't forget to compliment the rabbi. Don't lie. But when the rabbi does something good, a good sermon, good pastoral care, a good class, tell him. He has feelings and egos, nurture them. So let me review my 6 commandments. You need to show up for the new rabbi. 2nd, rabbis don't know things about the people in the synagogue unless you're told. 3rd, the rabbi is not a magician, nor a prophet, nor the Messiah. Number 4, support the rabbi's vision. Number 5, a religious leader is supposed to have opinions. And 6, don't forget to compliment the rabbi. Friends, this is a great night for the synagogue in a very difficult time in our history. But I couldn't be happier for the congregation. We are small but mighty. The rabbi and congregation relationship is sacred. Cultivate it with love and honesty and mutuality. What wonderful days lie ahead for our congregation. Shabbat Shalom.